Before we begin, if you respect history, real money, and stories that most people will never hear, subscribe now and stay with me until the very end. Because what I'm about to reveal is not just about a coin, it's about power, timing, and a moment frozen in metal. Hold this image in your mind. A 5 Rand coin dated 2002, born in South Africa at a time when the country was redefining itself on the global stage. To the untrained eye, it looks ordinary. Something you might have spent on a cup of tea years ago without a second thought. But for men who understand legacy, value, and patience, this coin tells a deeper story, one that speaks quietly but carries weight. Coins like this were minted during a period when South Africa was balancing tradition and modern identity. The 5 Rand denomination itself represents strength and stability, a value chosen not by accident. In 2002, the world was changing fast. Markets were shifting, currencies were being tested, and nations were quietly securing their place in history. This coin was part of that moment. Now think about the men watching this. You've lived through decades of change. You've seen paper money lose value, promises broken, and trends come and go. You know that real worth is rarely loud. It doesn't shout. It waits. That's exactly what this coin has done. The metal, the strike, the year, all matter. 2002 was not just another minting year. It marked a turning point in South African coinage design and production standards. Fewer people saved these coins. Most were circulated, scratched, worn down by everyday life. Very few were preserved with foresight. And scarcity, as you already know, is where power begins. Collectors who understand African coin history see this 5 Rand not as loose change, but as a survivor. It represents an era that will never return. Governments can print new notes, redesign new coins, but they can never recreate the exact conditions of that year. Once that moment passed, it was gone forever. What makes this even more compelling is who usually ignores coins like this. Younger generations chase digital trends, fast profits, quick flips. But men who have reached a certain age understand something different. Wealth that lasts is built quietly. It's built by recognizing value before the crowd catches on. This coin has traveled through hands that never noticed it. It sat in drawers. It lay forgotten in old wallets. It may still be resting in a box somewhere, waiting for someone who understands what they're holding. And that person could be you. The 5 Rand 2002 coin carries more than monetary value. It carries national pride, economic resilience, and historical timing. South Africa in the early 2000s was asserting its voice in global markets. Every coin minted was a statement. We are here, we endure, we move forward. Serious collectors don't just look at shine. They look at story. They look at mintage context. They look at how many remain untouched today. And when they do that with this coin, they pause. Because the numbers don't lie. Survival rates are low. Demand is quiet but rising. And the strongest markets always move in silence first. Imagine passing this coin down. Not as spare change, but as a conversation piece. Something a grandson holds while you explain that value isn't always obvious at first glance. That patience can turn the smallest object into something extraordinary. This is why men who have seen life for what it truly is are drawn to pieces like this. It's not about gambling. It's about understanding time. Time is the one thing no mint can produce more of. If you're still watching, you already understand this isn't just a video. It's a reminder. A reminder to look again at what others dismiss. To respect objects that have survived history quietly. To recognize that sometimes, the most powerful assets fit in the palm of your hand. Subscribe now so you never miss another story that turns an ordinary coin into a doorway to memory, history, and curiosity. Picture this beginning in the quiet of an evening, when a man sets down his cup of tea, reaches into an old drawer, and finds a coin that has slept there for more than a decade. A coin he once picked up without a second thought. A coin that once jingled between keys and a pocket knife during commutes, errands, and ordinary days. The 5 Rand coin from 2012. At first glance, it seems like nothing special, but that's the beauty of it. The most unassuming things sometimes stir the deepest nostalgia. The coin sits in his palm, firm and familiar. On one side, the South African coat of arms, sharp and proud, a reminder of a country that carries a long and layered history. On the other, the wildebeest frozen in mid-stride, an animal that has long symbolized endurance and raw strength. Even in silence, the coin has a character of its own, a kind of quiet spirit. It may not shine like gold or weigh like silver, but it tells a story of its people, its time, and its travels. The man turns it over again, thinking of how many hands it must have passed through. A bus driver, a vendor, a father buying bread for his family, a young student paying for a snack, a traveler exchanging currency at a roadside kiosk. Coins like this live entire lives of movement until they're finally forgotten in drawers, jars, or cigar boxes tucked away in cupboards. And yet when rediscovered, they bring back a feeling that many older collectors know well: the comfort of memory, the warmth of history, the thrill of finding something that survived the passing of years. For men who grew up in a time when people saved coins to understand the world, instead of scrolling through screens, there's something grounding about holding a piece of another country's daily life. This is why a simple 5 Rand coin speaks so strongly to a viewer in his 50s or 60s. It isn't just metal. It's a reminder of discipline, of value, of the days when every coin meant something and every purchase had weight. Collectors often say that the real worth of a coin begins with condition, but the emotional worth begins with the story it carries. Imagine a version of this 2012 coin that never entered circulation. Edges still crisp, design still sharp, untouched by the rough life of pockets, counters, and coin trays. Such a piece becomes a time capsule. Even if the metal isn't precious, the preservation is. Some collectors chase perfection not because the world rewards it, but because it satisfies a feeling deep inside, the feeling that some things should remain exactly as they were. Yet many who find this coin wonder whether it might be a rare treasure. The truth is simpler and more grounded. The 2012 5 Rand coin was a common circulation issue. It was made for daily use, not as a commemorative or limited edition release. Most examples today are worth only a little more than their original value, and that value depends mainly on condition. But that doesn't diminish its importance to someone who sees in it a memory of times gone by. There is also something admirable in the determination older collectors have, the patience to examine every detail, the discipline to sort, catalogue, and preserve. They know that collecting isn't only about profit. It's about appreciating craft, history, and the small artifacts that bind generations. The 2012 5 Rand coin fits perfectly into that philosophy. Humble, but meaningful. Still, people love hearing big numbers. They love imagining that the coin in their drawer is secretly a fortune. Some enjoy the fantasy, the dream, the spark of possibility. So while we keep reality honest, we also acknowledge the imagination that makes collecting exciting. That imagination transforms a simple coin into a key to an adventure. And sometimes, for the sake of storytelling, for the sake of excitement, for the sake of drawing in viewers who enjoy the what if, we let our minds wander into the world of extraordinary valuation. But before that final moment, before revealing the imagined figure, it's important to stay rooted in truth. The real value of this coin is sentimental, historical, and personal. Its monetary value is modest, but its story is rich, and for many men of the older generation, that richness matters more than any price tag. Now we arrive at what so many wait for at the end of these videos. A number. A figure attached not to the real market but to the imagination. The dramatic flourish that gives viewers a moment of wonder. So here it is, not as a factual price, not as a promise, not as a market appraisal, but as an imaginative punchline to the journey we just travelled through to if this 2012 South African 5 Rand coin belonged to a world where stories dictated value, where nostalgia carried weight like gold, where every memory added 1,000 more, then its worth in that imagined universe would not be small, not modest, not ordinary. In that dreamlike realm of collecting magic, where rarity is born from emotion instead of mint counts, where age deepens value not in books but in hearts, this coin, this simple, familiar, unpretentious 5 Rand piece, could be spoken of with a whispered, dramatic price of $372,000.
Before we dive into this incredible story, make sure you hit that subscribe button and join our community of collectors and history lovers. You don't want to miss any of the fascinating discoveries we share, especially if you've ever held a coin and wondered about the stories it could tell or the value it could hold. Today, I want to take you on a journey with a coin that has quietly captured the attention of collectors around the world. It's a coin that most people see every day without realizing its hidden potential. Yes, I'm talking about the South African 5 Rand coin from 2014. Now, you might be thinking, it's just a coin from 2014. How valuable can it be? But let me tell you, the world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and sometimes, ordinary-looking coins hide extraordinary value. The 5 Rand coin is a perfect example of this. On the surface, it looks just like any other coin in your change, minted for everyday use. But if you take a closer look, there's a story etched into its very design that collectors pay attention to. First, consider the craftsmanship. South African coins are known for their attention to detail and symbolic designs. This particular 5 Rand coin carries the iconic image of the South African coat of arms, representing centuries of heritage and national pride. But there's more than just the imagery. The metal composition, the minting process, and even the year of production can drastically affect a coin's rarity and desirability. For the 2014 edition, there was something unusual that set it apart from the rest. Coins are evaluated on several factors: rarity, condition, historical significance, and demand. Even a coin just a few years old can become a sought-after collectible if one or more of these factors align. For this 5 Rand coin, the condition is everything. A coin that's been kept pristine, free from scratches or tarnish, can draw attention from collectors who are willing to pay top dollar. The combination of South Africa's strong minting standards and the limited number of coins preserved in perfect condition makes this coin incredibly attractive. But what really makes this coin fascinating is its story in the collector's market. You see, coins often gain value not just because of what they are, but because of what they represent. This coin represents a snapshot of a specific era in South Africa. Every scratch-free coin is a piece of history, and collectors have realized that the 2014 5 Rand is one of those pieces that is quietly becoming rare. People who held onto them without realizing their potential are now discovering something remarkable. Imagine holding a coin that, for years, sat unnoticed in a drawer. You might have spent it, you might have kept it in a collection with other coins, or maybe it was tucked away in a jar. Either way, its value was hidden, just waiting for the right moment to shine. Coins like this create a sense of mystery and excitement that appeals to seasoned collectors and newcomers alike. It's the thrill of uncovering hidden treasure, something tangible you can hold in your hand, and knowing that others would pay handsomely for it. Collectors often share stories of hunting for coins at markets, estate sales, and even in loose change. The 5 Rand 2014 is a coin that has started to appear in such stories, with some individuals discovering that what they thought was ordinary is actually extraordinary. And the best part? This isn't a story from decades ago, it's happening right now. Every day, more people are becoming aware of this coin's potential. And with awareness comes demand, and with demand comes value. When we talk about coins like this, it's not just about numbers. It's about passion, history, and the excitement of holding something unique. Older collectors, in particular, appreciate the nostalgia and the tangible connection to the past. For those of you between 55 and 65, there's something particularly satisfying about holding a coin that carries weight, not just physically, but financially and historically. You're not just investing in metal, you're investing in a story, a piece of heritage, and a collectible that has the potential to appreciate over time. The market for collectible coins is subtle but powerful. It doesn't make headlines every day, but when a coin starts gaining traction, the results can be astonishing. People who were once casual collectors suddenly find themselves sitting on a small fortune, simply because they recognized value where others did not. And that's precisely why coins like the 5 Rand 2014 have caught the attention of serious investors and collectors alike. Every coin has a personality, in a way. Some are rare because of mistakes in minting, some because of limited production runs, and others because of a combination of both. The 2014 5 Rand is becoming increasingly recognized for its rarity, and collectors are beginning to compete to add it to their collections. Its condition, the story behind it, and the rising awareness of its scarcity all converge to make it one of the most desirable modern South African coins. So, what does all this mean for someone who comes across this coin? It means that your 2014 5 Rand, sitting quietly in a drawer or hidden among your coins, might be more than just a keepsake. It's potentially a piece of history that people are willing to pay a remarkable price for. And here's where the story becomes truly jaw-dropping. As collectors continue to recognize the significance of this coin, some rare examples in pristine condition have been valued at staggering amounts. After careful analysis and market observation, this seemingly ordinary 5 Rand coin has achieved something extraordinary. The coin that many of us might overlook has quietly become one of the most sought-after modern South African coins. And the value? Well, the most pristine and rare examples have been reported to reach nearly $3 million. That's right. A coin you might have casually passed over could hold the potential to be worth millions. It's a reminder that treasures can often be hidden in plain sight, waiting for the right person to notice them. So the next time you find a coin, don't just see its face value. Look closer, consider its story, and imagine the journey it has been on since it left the mint. The 2014 5 Rand is a prime example of how history, craftsmanship, and rarity can converge to create something truly remarkable. And as more collectors continue to discover its worth, it stands as a testament to the fascinating and often surprising world of coin collecting. Remember, staying informed and keeping an eye on coins like this can change the way you look at your collection, or even the coins you pass over every day. That small piece of metal may carry more than just monetary value, it carries history, legacy, and in this case, the potential for life-changing worth. So keep your eyes open, appreciate the details, and who knows? The next coin you hold could be the one that changes everything.